What is going on, and welcome to Take On The World. Did not know that.
Wow.
You want to be my wife?
Oh, this is going to go downhill real quick.
One of the characters for book 2 is very personal to me. As you all know, that I lost my niece, Ashley. Yeah. She was just going to be 22, tragically. And Rachel and I said, we need to do a dedication for her. Mm-hmm. And so she became a character, and the character in book 2 is named Ashley. And I am so excited for people that knew Ashley to read this, because we put as much as we could into her this book, keeping with, the time frame.
Yeah.
But that was for me, it was very personal.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's a good writer will do that.
Oh yeah,
yep,
I actually,
absolutely.
Now that you told me that, I'm actually really looking forward to reading that and finding that and picking that out. That actually sounds very interesting.
Yeah. So you always, as a writer, you should always find your strength with things around you, whether it's you write about places that are around you or people that you know, and you just pull little.
Well, the best stories out there have a hint of truth to them.
Yeah.
A hint of reality to them. And when you take that reality and you can expand upon it with a writer's imagination, that's awesome. And that's what you guys did with the first book. Mm-hmm. I honestly can't wait to read the second book.
Good.
We pre-ordered.
Yay. I'd have to say, for me, going into this, the one thing that I kept saying to her over and over and over wasn't necessarily about the world part of it, because again, that wasn't my strength. My strength was characters. So everything that I read, like, if the characters don't really get me, like where I want to follow their journey, that I want to know more about them, like, it's done. Like, I can barely, there's so many book series that I've started to read and couldn't get past the first book because I'm like, it didn't capture me enough.
Well, go ahead, Nathan.
Like, that problem comes up a lot, because you can have some of the best world building ever, but if the characters in the story are one-sided or, don't go anywhere, aren't interesting. Then
Podcast Therapy Dog wants to come up.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
Exactly. Dude, we should have totally put him in some kind of a costume. That would have been fun.
A road costume.
Exactly.
I don't want to, please.
But
I am not a show horse.
That's my favorite thing to talk about, though, is building characters. I mean, that is me.
Character building is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought that can go into it, and there's a lot of little things that can make or break.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it doesn't matter if they're the big guy or the bad guy. It's, you just have to, everybody likes everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel that.
Like, when I was a wrestler, for me, the biggest thing was, can I get the crowd involved in the match? Can I, if I was a baby face, can I get them to pop for me? If I'm a heel, can I get them to boo me? Can I get them to hate me? Mm-hmm. As a writer, you want to get people invested in the characters so that they want to get on to the next book and see what happens.
Exactly.
And when one of the characters that you like dies, it means something. Like, it's like you feel it emotionally. And you did that with the first book. Like, wanting to follow the characters on to the next book is what I'm saying.
There you go. Spoilers.
No, there's no spoiler.
No.
You just, you're, what I'm saying is you got people invested in the characters.
Yeah.
And, I want to know what the hell happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, now I have to wait.
Yeah. And you know what the best part that is about it is, too, is we expected people are going to want to know, what happens with Raven, or what happens with, the core group. When I refer to the core group, that's the Guardians, the 6 core group. But, we had a lot of people that, wanted to know about even some of the smaller characters, and we were like, wow, we didn't think anybody would, snap, connect that quick, but they do. And that, to me, that is what makes a story so good, is the character.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
And even, supporting characters, not just the main cast, too.
Right.
As you said, a lot of people just clicked with some of those lesser characters. And those lesser characters are just as important as the main cast.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right, so you have a great idea. You want to write a book. You're going to sit down and you're going to create your outline. So I know theoretically that this is everything that I want to cover. And you start writing. And then as you start writing the process, you might realize, oh, I have to throw a chapter in here because I need to get from A to B. And oh, here I have to get from C to D. Like, so that it's very fluid. So we're going to bypass all of that. So now you get to the end where you have a book. Okay. And the only people that have seen it are you, or in my case, Rachel and myself are the only ones that have seen it. So at that point, what happens is you get a beta and an alpha reader, and they're usually friends, family, and you say, be kind, be gentle, but please read
I've
this.
never gotten to that point.
You have to. You have to. Because if you're going to get criticized by anybody, you want it to be people that you know, because you won't take it as personally.
I do.
See, you have to, like, get out of that head. Seriously, I mean, you have to get out of that headspace, because they're going to be honest with you, whereas a stranger may or may not. But, so we gave our books to alpha and beta readers, and they made their comments, they made some corrections. Now,
What is going on, and welcome to Take on the World.
Did not know that.
Wow.
You want to be my wife?
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.